Hi, and welcome to another video from me, Dave, G0OES, that's G0OES, if I say it properly. I've said it so many times today, but crikey, what a day it's been. So first of all, you'll notice a continuity problem here, because you'll see a video I did yesterday about just doing a really quick POTA by using a LongWire, and I thought I'd come out and do a longer one with a LongWire today. I'm still wearing the same top because it's obviously in the tradition of radiometers that we have to smell a bit damp and musty, as my wife says. So yeah, honestly, I'm all right really, but it's been chucking it down. This is a chucking it down thing. So we're at Allestree Park, Golf Bravo 1914, so 1914. That's a thing for you history buffs. You'll see far more footage of this place towards the end as I take a little bit of tour around it. But you can see there were some resonance with GB-1914, 1914, because many of these stately homes didn't really thrive after that time. And then up until the end of the Second World War, it was used by the police, the fire brigade and the army in some sort of order of that. And now it's owned by the council. There's a golf course here, there's lots of trails, there's all sorts going on, and notice boards and a thriving community and a wilding project by Derby Wildlife Trust. So there you go, far more towards the end of the video. And what we have in that direction, just on the edge of Derby, the city, but it's a city park. What this used to be is a stately home. Stately home's still there, but something's happening. It's all boarded up, and you know, like a lot of these things, beautiful place, beautiful like deer grounds and all that sort of stuff. You can imagine it, what it was once like, proper mature trees. Mature trees means another day for the LongWire. So I got the LongWire up. If you heard a goat in the background, not a goat, it's my car locking with its funny little things you can do with Teslas. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is take the LongWire down, because this is the end of the POTA. So let me tell you the story of this POTA, and I'll put some stuff in here to obviously make this more entertaining than me just rabbiting on. CQ Park's on the air, CQ Park's on the air. Golf 0, Oscar, Echo Sugar. George 0, Oscar, Echo Sierra. QRZ. CQ Park's on the air, CQ Park's on the air, CQ POTA. This is Golf 0, Oscar, Echo Sierra. George 0, Oscar, Echo Sugar. Golf 0, Oscar, Echo Sierra. Calling CQ POTA, CQ Park's on the air. Golf 0, Oscar, Echo Sierra. QRZ. So conditions, I've just been speaking to a station in Sweden, and he's running a Yagi and 700 watts. Very strong signal for the band. And this is with my preamp on 5 and 5. So there you go. That is literally the strongest signal on. Got somebody looking at my dog walkers wondering what this lunatic is. Quite often as you get these things. But anyway, really strongest signal on. There's nothing any stronger, not even the Italian stations. And he tells me in Sweden, 40 meters is unusable, and anything above 20 meters unusable. So you got loads of QRM interference on 40 there, and literally all I've tried is 20. He reckons everything over 20 you can't use. Everybody's struggling. QSBs all over the place. So it's been a real struggle. So what I've had to do is I've had to activate, and then I got to 5 or 6, and then I was really struggling. So I thought, God, something's wrong with my setup. So I started hunting around and doing park to park and working other people, and they're also struggling as well. And even one person is portable, running 800 watts, which is, I tell you, today would have flipping helped. It's like one of those days. I wouldn't have liked to have been really low power today. But anyway, what I'm going to do is show you my kit and all that sort of stuff, so you can see what I was using. Kit I'm using today, as ever, is the Icon. I have got a backup battery on it, but I don't really need it. Would have worked okay with the battery before. Got my 30 amp. Using the XPA 125B, I was getting about 80 watts out. There's my choke, as you've seen before. There's my Messi and Poloni, particularly in a place like this. It really helps on the car park. And the Heil Pro 7s. Tell you what, they were flipping brilliant today, with people really struggling. Another person commented, I spoke to another POTA station that was using headphones. He said it made a huge difference for him as well. So yes, hugely helpful. And a great feature I will show you on these Heils. I know you're going to go, oh, I've got some gaming headphones. I must do a video, because my son's an audio engineer, and just explain to you why there are quite a few myths about. So it was worth paying for this. That in and out phase, in and out, switch it about on different stations. It really makes a difference. It pulls people straight out of the noise. Here's a quick example of a QSO that was going on, and you can see the noise ratio was well down.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. and QRZ, Oscar Zulu / Delta Mike 5, Hotel Foxtrot Portable.
Golf 0 Oscar Echo Sierra. Golf 0 Oscar Echo Sierra in POTA, over.
Yeah, Golf 0 Oscar Echo Sierra, you're also 59. My name is Chris at the south of Denmark, Roger.
Yeah, Roger Chris, name here is Dave. You're a strong 5x9, over.
Yeah, Roger Dave. Yeah, sounds good. And yeah, running a linear here from the car with a rotary dipole for 20-meter monoband, 800 watts running power directly from the beach, Roger.
Oh my goodness, you've got it all. Yeah, park to park, go ahead, over. Yeah, Roger, station park to park, go ahead, over.
Hotel Bravo 9, Foxtrot Romeo Papa Portable. Yeah, QSL, thank you very much. For the QSL, you are 4 and 3 here in Switzerland.
It's Golf 0 Oscar Echo Sierra, Golf 0 Ontario, England Sugar in Golf Bravo 1914, QSL.
Golf 0 Foxtrot Echo Sierra, is this correct?
Oscar Echo Sierra, Ontario Oscar Echo Sierra, QSL.
Roger, Golf 0 Oscar Echo Sierra, David, this is Yankee Oscar 3 Bravo Echo stroke portable.
Yeah, David, you are 4x4 QSL.
Yeah, Roger, much QSB, you are 55 QSL. Roger, and you're a 5-1, over. QSL, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for the park to park, and I wish you every success with the activation. 7-3. Roger, and you're a 5-1, over. QSL, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for the park to park, and I wish you every success with the activation. 7-3. Echo Sierra.
Golf 0, please again, Golf 0.
Yeah, Roger, it's Golf 0 Oscar Echo Sugar. Golf 0 Oscar Echo Sierra. QSL.
Golf 0 Foxtrot Echo Sierra, 57.
Yeah, Roger, thank you. Just a tip, if you are using a Tesla, make sure you switch it off, because it does create a little bit of QRM. When you switch it off, go to safety on the screen, switch off the car, and all of a sudden it goes very quiet. Even if the bands are quiet, but it goes very quiet. Bringing the coax in, I use these now. You can see them. They are silicon cable ties from AliExpress. I did a short video on this where I said they were about £4 for a pack. Actually, they weren't. There's two tied together there because of the width of the coax, the Messian Poloni, and they're absolutely brilliant. I use them for all sorts of things, as you've probably seen, but yeah, top tip. Always gel your hands after these things. You probably know that, but God, tell you what, you get infectious disease. God knows how they put on in Australia. Imagine in a POTA in Australia, you probably have to wear waders that are specially developed not to be stung or bitten by things and all sorts of swatting things, and also often think about that. Go to a POTA in Australia. So I'm reading a Bill Bryson book at the moment called Down Under and God Almighty. But yeah, there's loads of blackberries here as well, which I will eat before I leave. So yes, I've got to pull the rest of the antenna in. Thought for the day, LongWires. They're not as popular, and I'll tell you why, because they're called. Have you noticed all the vehicles have got great names? Just think about it. DX Commander, which you've got, really like it. But you've got things called Slidewinder or something like that. POTA Destroyer, all those sorts of things. Very creative, great for advertising, but let's face it, it's a piece of wire that's tuned for a frequency. So I think we need to rebrand LongWires, and then people will be more excited about it. So there's a thought, down in the comments, what would you like to call a LongWire? This is my LongWire. Here it is. You've seen it before on videos, no doubt. Dead easy to pack away. You can see a simple piece of garden twine with it and the padlock. But check out what others have done. Andy in the South Derbyshire and the Wales Amateur Radio Club, a fantastic radio club over in the Midlands, has actually improved his as well. Tells me he's rewound the Unum, the 9-to-1 Unum in this, and got slightly better results. On 80 metres, it isn't brilliant, but on all the rest, it works rather well, subject to bands. Some of us are old enough to remember when the bands were wicked. Some of us remember when the bands were good enough, with a magnetic loop in the garden and then a bit of butternut, you could do 325 countries in a year without too much of a problem. But anyway, enough of that reminiscing. Yeah, LongWire. I always talk about words, names for radios. Random wire, let's try that. So you can have a random wire, which are affordable, random wires which are affordable, or you can have something with a great name that's vertical, which might be stretching the affordability and have a great name. So which one are you going to choose? Random, like a random mate, innit? Can't really rely on them. Entertaining, but you can't rely on them. However, something's got a great name, let's say POTA Destroyer, you're going to go, oh, I'm going to have that. So there's a thought for you. Don't go by the names, because the names are great marketing for a big ham radio, but not particularly brilliant for your pocket. When you can use something with a terrible name, end-fed LongWire. Anyway, my ramblings, let's carry on. And well, more or less packed up, to be fair. What I'm going to do now is just go down the road and show you what it's like here. And as a dedicated person, I'll do it in the rain. And here's the park. It's lovely parkland, really well looked after. It's lots of paths through here. Memorial benches. Right through this cycle path through here. It's part of a rewilding project as well. Obviously big house up there. And there, again, more of the parkland. Car park's just up there. And it's free to park. Local nature reserve. Just interesting, well, not too far away from here, a place called Willington. They've introduced beavers. So there is a park there. You can go and activate it to POTA. And there's beavers there. That's beavers, not as my cousin joked, a collective name for women in the WI. Blackberries early this year because of the amazingly hot, dry and early summer that we've had. Going to walk through this gate. You know, why is he puffing and panting? He's puffing and panting because he's run. It's raining. There you go. There's the aha. Well, that's an aha because if you stood on the garden up there, that would have been beautifully what they call Lancelot Browned by somebody like Lancelot Brown or something like one of the top gardeners, or bloody stupid Johnson, who was his complete opposite in the Terry Pratchett books. But you looked out, your garden looked like it stretched forever, and people would say, aha. Anyway, that's it. You can see the remnants of what was once upon a time a very landscape place, and that's the hall. I'm not going further if you don't mind, because it really is chucking it down. So that's what's here. You can see the opportunity there for somebody to turn that into something amazing would be fabulous. That's the hall itself. Oh, there are lights on up there. You can see. Looks like one of those things you have for zapping flies. So yeah, walks right the way around the place, and there would have been park. Oh, you probably know you couldn't really squeeze up here to park, but would have been out the way. And there's some estate buildings here which the loos are situated in. It is to have loos on a POTA. Yeah. There's nobody else up here having a Jimmy Riddle, so there you go. That's the historic toilets, but at least they're available. There's also a car parked up here, it's just gone. So you can squeeze a car up. Here's me with a messy desk back at home. I forgot to record an outro. So just wishing you every 73 as I get back home and leaf through some old logbooks, which are always interesting. That one is from 1990. Anyway, have a good one. Reminiscing when bands were a lot better than what they are at the moment. May the bands be open for you. Try a bit.